Oh boy, you're going to love the next speaker. I'm pleased to introduce you to our next speaker, Elizabeth Huntley. Elizabeth is an active duty police officer, so behave yourself. She's a lifelong wolf lover and advocate from Kenosha, Wisconsin. There's a lot going on in Wisconsin concerning the wolf. Elizabeth would like to share with you the shameful and heinous actions that Wisconsin legislators and the Wisconsin Division of Natural Resources have enacted in their twisted crusade to eradicate the wolf from the landscape of the dairy state. Elizabeth Huntley.
All right, Elizabeth. All right. Welcome, fellow wolf supporters and advocates. I am honored and humbled to have this opportunity to speak with you today about the plight of the 800 or so wolves in Wisconsin. First, Aldo Leopold is rolling in his grave. Today, September 7th, should become Native American Wolf Day, celebrated by all wolf supporters everywhere. You know, like many of you, I've loved wolves as far back as I can remember. I grew up in a Chicago suburb, would jump on the bus and go to Brookfield Zoo to hear the wolves howling when they hear sirens. That was a highlight in my life. In my 30s, I was living in Colorado and I went to Mission Wolf Sanctuary, sat in an enclosure with wolves and wolf dogs, and it was simply incredible and thrilling. Now that I'm a resident of Wisconsin, I learned that our state had wolves, and I thought to myself, I might be able to hear a wolf howl in the North Woods. Why? I may even be able to find wolf tracks in the North Woods. And maybe, just maybe, I could spot a wild wolf. Now, I'm not so sure thanks to what's going on in my state, and I'm mad as hell about it. See, Wisconsin has captured the dubious honor of becoming the blood sport capital of the nation, and don't forget that. Blood sport, animals fighting animals. That sounds like something from the Roman Colosseum, doesn't it? Well, it's going to be happening soon in Wisconsin. No sooner had the ink dried on the paper delisting the wolf in Wisconsin, Governor Scott Walker signed into law Act 169, designating wolves big game and legalizing its hunting. This bill was written by pro-hunting lobbyists, including the Wisconsin Bear Hunters Association and the NRA. I know that's got to be shocking. Our DNR wolf biologist wasn't consulted, had no knowledge of the bill, nor was allowed to provide testimony during legislative hearings about the bill. Wisconsin wolf management, otherwise known as wolf eradication, includes an exceptionally long hunting season that coincides with the wolf's breeding season. Trapping and, yes, snaring, even allowed in our state parks and in our state forests. That's another Scott Walker milestone, mind you. Baiting and predator calls are allowed, including howling. And the worst and most politically motivated measure is the use of dogs to hunt wolves. Nowhere else in the country has this been allowed. Dog fighting is a felony in Wisconsin, and yet Act 169 amounts to state-sanctioned dog fighting. Dogs will be released on wolves this year, and the ensuing carnage will be horrific. Dogs and wolves will die. Who do you think was behind this political maneuvering? Right. And that was given by the Wisconsin Bear Hunting Association and its president and lobbyist, Bob Welch. He's been on the back pocket of Wisconsin Representative Scott Souter, who wrote the bill. Attempts to introduce a bill to repeal the use of dogs in wolf hunting have failed because Souter won't allow it to move to the floor for a vote. He was quoted in the media by saying this: to totally eliminate an entire privilege that is out there for sportsmen, it goes too far. Wow. The privilege to use dogs to track, corner, and tear apart a wolf, all from the comfort of your pickup truck. But that was only the beginning. Governor Walker's appointed political hack, DNR Secretary Kathy Stepp, directed wolf biologist William Vanderzouen to pick members for the DNR Wolf Advisory Committee, which would ultimately decide the wolf kill quota for this year's wolf hunt. You know, a funny thing, excluded from the committee was wolf advocate groups such as the Humane Society and the Center for Biological Diversity. Instead, Vanderzouen was directed, guess what? Here's another shocker, to select from the following esteemed wolf-killing groups. Listen carefully. The Wisconsin Conservation Congress, a group no more representing the majority of county constituents than Bambi represents deer hunters. The Wisconsin Wildlife Federation, please don't confuse that with the conservation group. The Wisconsin Bear Hunters Association, the Wisconsin Trappers Association, the Wisconsin Cattlemen's Association, Safari Club International, and the Wisconsin Bow Hunters Association. Is anybody seeing a theme here? That's the Wolf Advisory Committee deciding the fate of wolves in my state. My God, is it any wonder that a kill quota of 250 wolves, the first or second highest quota on record in North America, that's 35% of the current Wisconsin wolf population, was approved to be slain this coming killing season. The DNR's wolf kill plan has little to do with science and has everything to do with politics, money. It's unethical, stinks of cronyism, and will decimate our wolf population beyond future viability. This all points to a state government system that is inherently flawed, favoring minority stakeholder interests who fund the wolf killing with wolf kill tags, and is the furthest thing from democracy ever devised in this nation. Adrian Trevis, who is a University of Wisconsin associate professor, predicts the following. The upcoming wolf hunt, he says, is undeniably aggressive, and that there is a high likelihood that by April 2015, the wolf hunt will have to be closed due to a steep decline in the wolf population. That decline may result in the gray wolf being relisted in Wisconsin as a threatened and endangered species. Again, and that's by 2016. That will be the result of 4 years of relentless wolf killing and no say about it from non-consumptive users in my state. It's time to turn this train wreck around. Non-consumptive users need a seat at the table, even if it means we purchase wildlife preservation tags to support the true conservation of all species of wildlife, as well as preserve our wetlands and other wild areas. I am sick and tired of hearing the same old argument from our DNR that hunters' kill tags, quote, fund conservation in my state, when in fact, those tags fund the killing of wildlife and the pillaging of our wild areas. And now, the purchase of kill tags mean the elimination of the wolf from the Wisconsin landscape. Thanks, Governor Walker, for turning back the clock on the Wisconsin wolf 100 years. You got that right. Thank you for all your time, and please continue, everyone, please continue in your staunch advocacy for our wolves all across the globe.